Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the Midnight Matinee is on at 12 a.m. on Saturday. This night, we're going to be doing Thor. So come watch as we go down the MCU. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when these drop. Peace. And that's why.
I got one thing to tell you, though. He's the one who made the Z Network logo.
I realized my mic was off still. I forgot to unmute my mic. So everybody, what's going on? It's the Worst Damn Gamer Evr. I just did the intros and that's why they were talking. But basically, we got Sir Sturdy down below with us. We got Brandon over on the side. If you need some digital artwork done, you need some designs done, you need overlays, whatever. The guy's good with, what, Java and DreamWorks? What do they use nowadays to make web, Adobe, pretty much anything this guy can do digitally. You can find him at BMS Designs. Follow him on Facebook. I think you have an Instagram as well?
I think I do. I don't do too much on the Instagram. I post stuff every time, like every once in a while.
Either way, another good homie that does different things with, digital designs, photography, anything like that, editing, content making, websites design. So he's your guy. Go check him out as well. Boys, welcome to the Midnight Matinee.
Yes.
How y'all feeling?
I'm good, and Sir Sturdy, stepson of Asgard. They always send me, they send me for this podcast. I can't. Thor was busy.
So we had the janky Captain America. We had the janky Iron Man. We had the janky Nick Fury for a little bit.
Yeah, Agent Sturdy.
Agent Sturdy. Oh no.
That's awesome. Now we got Sturdy, the stepson of Asgard.
Yeah.
Stepson of Asgard. I like that one.
Technically, that could be argued as Loki, but whatever.
No. My father was messing with Thor's mother before.
Oh.
So it's kind of like son, but they just call me the stepson because we don't gotta get into that.
So you were banished because of... Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Banished to Schenectady, New York.
Got your power stripped from you and thrown into Schenectady, New York.
Yeah, and obviously I didn't grow up and become mature enough to, have powers again, so...
It happens.
It's all good.
No Hercules story for you, man.
Nah. Shit, I forgot to get my hammer. I knew I had a hammer somewhere. Hey.
Snap, you got the hammer. You about to bring the hammer down. Oh, it's like an actual,
There you go.
Don't get the hammer. I forgot to bring it in because I was rushing around earlier. This is not the North.
You see? Look at this. I guess I could do a little something.
Oh man, yours is bigger than mine.
Ooh, showed up.
Mine really hurt. It
just started blending in with his background though.
Mine's real. Mine gets physical.
Yeah, but mine, I just gotta lift my hand up when it comes to me.
That is.
I'm kind of worthy. That's why mine looks like that.
All right.
Yeah, Mjolnir.
You win.
Like it doesn't do. I'm only worthy like on the podcast. I'm not worthy outside of this.
Gotcha.
My hammer's called Mac Anti-Vibe.
There you go.
It lays the poundings down. Though. This shit's fucking heavy. I forgot how heavy this goddamn thing was. Anyway, gentlemen, we're talking Thor! Who wants to lead off? Who wants to start this off? First impressions of the movie?
First impressions. I thought it was a decent movie. It wasn't my favorite out of all the Thors that I've seen, but or movies that Thor appeared in.
Okay.
But it was a good intro to the character because they kind of give you the basis of where he's from, like generally the outlay of the family structure and kind of what Asgard stood for.
Okay. Sturdy.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I hate to do this every single time, guys. I swear. But DC, come on.
It's becoming tradition.
I have something positive to say about DC before I shit on them this time. Titans, I finally started watching on HBO Max.
Yes.
Fucking amazing. Stick to series animated or live action, if you're not going to put the same energy and great story and entertainment in the movies that you do in this, I didn't see the new Batman movie yet. Everybody's saying it's so great. I'm not going to.
That's awesome.
Well, I have to see it.
This ain't Batman. This is Thor. So,
but no, really quick, because I have to shit on DC. I've been doing it for like every single episode. So let DC step your game up. That's one. And two, DC. This is what Superman should have been, and I mean that because Thor's so freaking powerful, and like the way you guys do Superman movies now is so you make him boring. Like he doesn't have.
Really?
It's just.
I thought that last Superman movie was pretty legit, man.
What?
I thought that was a redeem from what they used to do.
Superman Returns.
You could say that. You could say.
I don't know, the one with the new guy. You know, the handsome dude that all the girls like.
Yeah.
The one that plays in The Witcher.
Yeah. No, agreed, 100%.
But
He's
still,
tripping, bro. Don't worry about him.
He doesn't. Superman doesn't need his own solo thing. Superman, he just put him in Superman with Batman or in the Justice League or whatever the case may be. Other than that, don't do that bullshit no more. Thor deserves his own movie. That's why he got it. Good film, not the best, but still a good one. And of course, it's the intro to Thor's. You know, the intro to the story. So
yeah.
Usually the intro stories kind of start, I don't want to say weak, but they're not as strong as the ones that follow, which is actually a great thing. Because
they usually got to lay down that little bit of a
foundation,
kind of like a backstory, so you kind of know where they came from.
Exactly. Especially for people who aren't comic book nerds, who aren't, like, say, even the animated series nerds, where you still get a lot of information from, who just watch the movies, who strictly just go by just the movie timeline. Mm-hmm. These are very important movies. Very important.
Oh, absolutely.
But what are your thoughts on it up there, Chris?
I enjoyed the movie, don't get me wrong. But you can definitely tell how, like, at the beginning of the movie, some of the, I guess, some of the acting was overselling, and then by the end of the movie, it gets a little bit better. But as far as the story of Thor goes, I mean, it's super dope. I don't 100% agree with you as far as the whole Superman Thor thing. I think they're two completely parallel.
I mean,
it's like
what I mean by that is
just magic and Asgard and
they're powerful. They're strong as shit. They come to Earth. But the thing is, when Thor doesn't have his powers, kind of, I know Superman has his powers when he's Clark Kent. He's boring as shit. Thor without his powers is way more entertaining than Clark Kent. Nobody cares about Clark Kent.
Yeah, sure. Even when he gets into
like Superman is a superpowered being trying to live as if he's human.
And Thor's like,
whereas
I will never.
Thor's
I am the
like,
Thor.
I'm here. Listen.
I
think I'm amazing.
I get it. He's just boring.
Odin's son.
Put him inside. He's better in the animated series as well.
I'll just say to each their own.
Agree to disagree.
I'm cool with that.
But definitely DC's got to either stick to just the series shit and the streaming services and stuff like that. Because what is it? Not Suicide Squad. What's the Umbrella Corp? That's super dope.
Series, what they do with Batman, they never do really.
Yeah,
Batman they push so hard, and that's why it's always survived as the best one.
I think it's just because they've done so well on the not all, but if we can, which we should probably be talking about Thor, but if we can jump back to the Batman from '89, those first two.
Oh my God, get off of '89. They're great. Don't get me wrong. We'll have another conversation about that later. We're talking about the blonde. We're talking about the gods. I love this shit, bro. Like, even like God of War and shit like that. Norse mythology and shit. It's just so fucking cool. It's just so fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, so beginning, good story, good introduction. I enjoy that they hit certain things with comedy aspects, which they later really stack on with the Thor character, some of his things that come up. But as far as this one goes, I mean, this is Jennifer Lawrence, after she's had a little bit of a break from her crazy beginnings of her huge blow up and stuff like that. So this was kind of dope. I've never heard of Chris Hemsworth until this movie came out. Kudos to him. Another character, another person that they picked to take a role that was kind of obscure and not really in the forefront, and fucking kills it and evolves with the character himself. But yeah, I this is a good time. This is definitely a good time. again, because it's been coming up every so often in some of these Midnight Matinees, but this is probably on my lower scale as far as favorites or whatnot of the entire MCU. But it does not subtract from the fact that it's still a great movie and it's a great story.
Agreed.
Same page with you, Chris.
Awesome. So, Blondie here decides to have a temper tantrum just as his commencement ceremony is interrupted by some big-ass frost giants that for some reason seem really small in the Asgardian catacombs there with the Tesseract and all their collection of, goodies from the universe. Which, you get the beginning cutscenes of Odin battling war with these big fucking frost giants, right? Like, that you expect to see from Norse mythology or whatnot. And then you get them crawling through a big-ass mountain and they look regular human size. So that was my first gripe.
Camera angles, bro.
Yeah!
Like,
oh, man.
If we shoot you from up here, you look like a mountain.
Oh, I loved it. But again, this movie does super good with the visual effects. I mean, the first scene you get thrown into, which honestly, I enjoyed this a lot more than reading through like a Star Wars crawl. You know what I mean? Because it starts off with Odin telling the story of where the Bifrost and the war of the giants and whatnot and all that shit, and you see it playing out and how he's gotten peace for his people or whatnot, and then it's, like I said, it's supposed to be a joyous occasion. Thor is about to take leadership of Asgard, and just as that's happening, his day is foiled because someone came in and tried to be like, well, since Reno Pops is getting old, before it changes hands, we gonna try to come and smack the shit out you and get our shit back.
Like, oh, he's sleeping? We got this.
This was where the beginning of my issues with the acting started, just because of the way he emoted the whole temper tantrum and the whole, but father, we need, like, I get it. It was a little oversold, and then you got quiet as a mouse Loki there, but father. And dude, it's so weird to see these people so young. Like, and it's weird to say that because we've been, this is 2011.
Got like 20 times better as each film developed.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, it was just like the characters got like just that more on point with what we wanted.
But I feel with that, of course, as big as these films were, like when they're first one, they're just starting out and all this stuff. So it's kind of like getting the build up, but then also working together, because a lot of, for the most part, I'm not gonna say every single character, but for the most part, you have a lot of the same people working together. And I'm sure that even goes back to like the directors, everybody on set. So it's like you get more and more comfortable just with each film working with these same people, to the point where it's just like, all right, we know the script. I know you're gonna ad-lib. I'm gonna ad-lib. We can feed off each other well. Boom, boom, boom. I know how you're gonna move. I know your body language, physically, like I know how you're gonna be in this film for this certain role. I know how to bring these emotions out of you, and vice versa. And it's cool how it grows throughout this movie alone, just this movie alone by itself. But through the few films that I have seen through this universe, how they kind of just grow with that. Like you said, with the better acting, it's like the chemistry gets better. Basically, the chemistry gets so much better because they work together for so long. It's kind of like with me and this guy over here, Chris, with all the podcasts. So he comes on my show, I'm on his show. We have a show called Popcorn and Pints and stuff, and we're working together so much to where it's just like, it's not as in depth, of course, as that, but you get a repertoire.
You get a feel. You get to be comfortable more so with the characters and the reading and your scripts. Because one of the other things too is when you're first brought on, it's such a secret. They barely tell you anything until they give you the lines, and then they tell you just act them pretty much. And then there's all the CGI that's involved. So once you become familiar with the day-to-day, you get used to the characters' mentality, you get used to your other cast and the crew behind you who's filming the film. It just becomes more of a natural thing to occur than having to force it, kind of like they started out here, and because they give him a direction, they tell him what to do, and he's but it was a little much there. Tone it down a little, Chris. Tone it down. I'm glad Louis Desposito or Kevin Feige, whoever, was like, yo, You look like Thor, but you're not Thor. Just meet us in the middle here. Meet us in the middle. But yeah, I feel like it ironed out by the end of it, so I'm super happy with that.
Oh yeah.
Who loves
and going back, huh?
Or, I'm sorry, I said J Hud. I was like J Law. I was like, who loves J Law?
What's everybody's favorite part of the film? Like, was there like a certain part that stuck out for you? For me, I thought it was like when he was like trying to hold back from messing with them frost giants back, and then like that dude like just cracked that one little smart little thing, and he just like, wham!
And it's one of those things where, I mean, again, because we had this conversation on previous episodes, Chris, with just the hot-headedness of him with Thor, like at first, and we were talking about with Tony Stark, and it's National Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like I said to you guys before we started recording, Raphael fits in that category. It's like, fuck, let's just go fight right away. Don't have a strategy, don't have a plan. Let's just go in head first, and then after a while, it's just like, okay, you know what? Let's have some sort of a plan. Let's plan this out a little bit better. Because that was just a failure. We fucked up. But they have to learn. They learn the hard way, literally. Like, these guys have to learn the hard way. And I like how the growth of his character, to where when he doesn't have his powers and he realizes he doesn't have his powers again, he's going to hit the hammer, and he's just like, I can't pick it up. But at the end of the day, he still shows you that he's a hero and that he is worthy of, the hammer they won't let me touch.
Yeah, I was gonna say when he's trying to get the hammer and he gets fucking electrocuted and they take him into custody. That's probably my favorite. He's just straight up, it's like, oh damn, man. But again,
worthy, bro.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of the best message of this movie. Honestly, is just the fact that, hey, just in order to be a hero, to be something special, you don't have to have your powers or have to have some type of crazy difference that just makes you so much more than everybody else. You can still have the same heart, the same character, and still proceed even without the power of lightning and your hammer. So that's kind of dope from this whole undertone of the movie here.
My favorite scene, one of my favorite scenes actually, is when he breaks the bridge.
He's worthy.
When he breaks the bridge, I like that part a lot.
Not for nothing, but why is his hand Sammy Sosa?
I realized,
it's just his hand. Is that somebody else's hand that's worthy to hold the hammer? And you're just, what is going on right now?
You're not worthy, but if you hold the hand of the worthy one,
you wear it like a glove. He is the horror guy. He is the horror guy.
This is one of those.
Make him lift me.
Hey, listen, you can hold the hammer, but you gotta have a white hand. Yeah, they have all that magic and shit up there on Asgard. I'm telling you guys way too much.
There's only one black dude on Asgard, right? There's like,
but at least he's the gatekeeper. I would argue that he's as powerful as Odin. Would you not? I mean, he's got the sword, he's got the power of the gates, he's got the all-seeing eyes.
But that's like kind of like watching the house as like the dudes that like out on the field picking.
All right, we're not.
Wow. See, I thought of it like, you know what? That was Odin's competition, so Odin gave him another job to go somewhere and go stand somewhere.
We're not gonna call him the house slave now. Come on. Marvel is not that. Marvel
I'm saying like, yo, you make sure nobody comes through that hole, man.
He was just like, you know what I did like too? Is another part really quick, because we're talking about the gatekeeper. Is when what the hell's his name? When Loki was worried about the gatekeeper turning on him. Like, are you gonna obey me? He's like, I have to obey my king. He didn't know that the king was dead or he did. That scene I liked a lot. And another scene, here's one scene that really stood out to me, again with the gatekeeper, is when he's like he's talking to Thor's friends, and he's like, so you guys are just gonna disobey the king and go down to, and help Thor? He's like, not on my watch. And it opens the shit up and just walks away.
It's like, so I don't see it. I'm not watching. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'll be back.
That kind of begs the question with his powers or whatnot, because he's the all-seeing eyes, right? He can see far deep. He can see things around him, right? So how did he not see or know that fucking that shit was happening to Odin, and you know what I mean, and Loki was, because they're connected. Odin can sense everything.
But remember when he was like, Loki, where did you come from? Like, you weren't on whatever. I don't remember the exact paths he said.
He didn't see where he was coming from. Yeah.
He didn't see where he was going because he was coming from. He didn't see where he was.
A little skeptical, probably at that moment.
And then like around that, wasn't it like around that time or not too long after that time is when he let them walk through? Like he walked away from the gate, so to speak.
Was it a little after that? It must have been a little bit after that.
It was around that time. I just finished watching it not too long ago, but I know it was like around that time. I just made a realization about that situation that comes up later in the series of Loki and in other movies or whatnot. It's like, oh shit, the fucking hidden tunnels! Duh! There you go.
We'll discuss that more when we talk about Loki the series and about Thor and Ragnarok and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen the Loki series. How is that?
It's definitely solid. Yeah, like the first 2 episodes, it took me a little bit to kind of stick through, just because it really develops a few things. But then it goes fucking haywire for the next like 6 to 8 episodes, and it's like, okay, cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, some dope shit happens in it, and they relate a ton of stuff back.
Okay, so it does like kind of like fill in the gaps of what happened before, kind of stuff. Okay.
Yep, and not just within like Thor. It's also other things in Avengers and other things in the rest of the Marvel universe. There's so many things that tie in with Loki, WandaVision, and fucking.
I watched a bit of WandaVision. That show was interesting. That was very. I did not expect what I got out of that show, but I didn't also not like it. So
you know what? I wasn't expecting it to be exactly what it was either, and how it's ended. But I will say this, from what I've seen so far, is you're gonna want to watch that before we get to Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange.
Yeah. It's like Multiverse of Madness. I expect to touch almost everything.
yeah.
What can you expect with?
I'm super excited because I finally saw No Way Home the other day, so I'm so pent up with stuff. I can't wait to make some content about it.
Yeah, I just love how all these films, they all connect to like the one big universe. Like that's the one thing that I think DC never really did, is take enough time building up their universe like Marvel did. And Marvel really helped flesh out like a very strong foundation for making their combined hero movie, the Avengers, by each one of these installments kind of built, for the majority of the characters, because they really kind of kept rebooting Hulk for a while, but everybody knows Hulk's story,
Why did they try so hard with him? Like
Hulk, and no disrespect, but Hulk is another one of those characters like Superman, to where he's better off being in that. Well, for Hulk, it would be that Avengers movie or that sidekick of another movie instead of being like his own.
The backstory isn't as strong, I think, with those characters. It's just like, we know you're just strong.
It's not only that. It's just that their other half of them, the Clark Kent and the Bruce Banner, is not really that interesting. It's not really that interesting.
Like, oh, he's a scientist.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed the premise of like the old school show and stuff like that, because here's a guy who had an accident in his lab and then has to now figure out how to survive dealing with this while being on the run and trying to hide the whole time. So it's like, fuck, man, it's like not a needle in a haystack situation, it's a Hulk in a haystack. It's like, you know what I mean? And every turn, his shit is based on human emotions, which we all can't always control, and we have to battle every day. So it's like
understandable. But so with the Hulk, would it have made a better series?
Oh, absolutely, and that's why I said like I really enjoyed the series or whatnot.
You could really flesh out like the day-to-day that's going on with Bruce Banner.
Yeah,
and I think that's where the character would get more in depth.
Because it's like
more interesting.
It's like you take nowadays in our civilization, like, is he turning into the Hulk waiting in the Tesla line to charge his car because he's tired of sitting there for an hour and a half because there's 30 cars in front of him? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck, is that making the Hulk coming out? Or is, the Starbucks line, fucking, they fucked up his order? Like, is that when he's hulking out? Or is it because somebody stepped on his J's? You know what I mean? I'm reading mad stupid shit now. It's like, yo, your girl cheated on you. Everybody's dying.
That's hilarious.
The whole house is coming down.
Yo, so you're just like, that's
No, it is. That's
It's
hilarious.
just like straight face with it, though.
It is. I have a smile, like I'm smiling. It's not like giggling or laughing. But yeah, I think that would probably work a lot better than a film. Or again, just put him in as a side character. There's nothing wrong with that.
How'd you feel about the aspect of the whole romance and shit like that going on in this movie? Did you think it was needed? Did you think it wasn't? Do you think it added?
I think the romance kind of, I don't know, it's kind of lackluster for me. It's like a god falling in love with a human. Like, come on, bro. Like, but she got that no godly Thor mystical person.
I know exactly where you're going with this, and I'm not going to say it because I'm going to be professional this time. But I know what you're talking about.
It's explosive. It's electrifying.
I mean, that too. Yeah.
But he didn't have no powers. He didn't have no powers. You know what I mean? So I think that's where they kind of made it more of a look, he doesn't. Yeah, he's humanized.
All right. Okay, hold up though. Would she be? And I ask this question a lot with these type of films and these type of stories. If Thor looked like Flavor Flav, there would be no love story, and he probably wouldn't get as much help as he did. I don't know, like the ugly white.
Now you got me thinking.
Or Biz Marquis.
Like, let me make a Thor.
I'll say if Thor looked like I just had the Carrot Top.
Oh damn!
Especially the Carrot Top that's like Jack now.
that one's very weird. By the way,
he is a bit frightening looking. He's like 50-something years old with mascara on. He's jacked and just wrinkled everywhere.
Serious question though. If Thor looked like him, Carrot Top, if that was the character playing Thor, you know, the guy playing Thor, the actor playing Thor, whatever you want to say, just the look, she wouldn't have liked that. She wouldn't have been like, oh, like all goo goo gaga.
Well, I think also he wouldn't have been Thor then.
No. I'm just saying.
There's a unique look that goes with Thor. You know what I mean?
But
like,
again, I'm just
blonde locks.
That's why that's why we're going down that. You know,
down the rabbit hole if the creators just accidentally made him Carrot Top.
I mean,
won't be the first time casting got it wrong. You know what I mean?
Marvel does have a what if thing, don't they? What if Thor looks like Carrot Top? Boom. Marvel, I'll let you boy.
What if my hand just slipped?
Oops. Stop putting Search 30 in here. God damn it. These damn stories it is. Just put it on paper, man. Just put it on paper. Someone's gonna like it.
I mean, I didn't hate the whole love situation here. It was cutesy to some extent with some of the humor that they had and some of the like innocence that they portrayed or whatnot. But honestly, I had more fun with Kat Dennings' character than the love story in this thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It felt like it was kind of rushed because, like, when did they actually fall in love? Like,
at first sight, brother. At first sight.
That's bullshit.
When he fell out of the sky and she was chasing him with the band.
Nice blonde locks, right? Yeah.
It was I didn't think it was all that. It didn't bother me, but it wasn't needed. Like if they didn't have it in there, I would have been fine with it.
But then I guess you got to subtract out all the girls and the random humans that are like part of his story. You know?
So then, would you
have to have a love story though? The little, they could still be he could be just trying to help. She's still trying to do her job and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
And then
gonna help you like that if he ain't getting a booty call.
He's a god. He's a god. He can just go back up and get some. Climb some.
Just like I'm gonna go fight this robot that's like trying to blast up the whole planet and everything. Like,
and then I'll be back to smash that with my hammer.
Why do I have to help you?
So who are we blaming on that? Are we blaming the writers or the actors? Because the love story didn't hit.
Nobody.
So I think it's the writers in this instance. Because like they acted as good as they could, but I think it's like nobody falls in love like Thor did with her. Like you meet them for like what? How long do they actually know each other?
A couple days,
maybe a day and a half,
a
couple days, 3 days. But then you're like, yo, I basically want to marry you. Let's go.
I mean, what I will say
when
though,
you know,
is like, if a hero comes down, right? Like say, okay, let let me say this. Let me say this just in case either one of our signals actually watch this episode, which I highly doubt. But just in case they do, say the person you're with now was like that person that was like Miss Marvel or something like that, like, had those type of powers, saved the Earth, saved your life. That might make you feel a little bit different. Like, am I in love?
What is it called? Survivors, something or?
I don't know if it'd be survivor's guilt though. It wouldn't be that.
I don't know if it's guilt or not. But like they say the same thing happens to like cops and firefighters when they save people and whatnot, and then that person's like smitten with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying like, okay, it makes you irrationally fall in love with the person.
Yeah, I guess.
Because there's already the physical attraction there, and then you're kind of building with those little conversations you're having, and then you're like, oh shit, she really is a superhero. She wasn't lying. She told me all this shit. Hey man.
For them, I think it was the moment with the stars drawing and him explaining the space.
It was because that's when she like looked at him and started smiling.
Just like in the Marvel universe, they've had better love story development.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Like Spider-Man, like almost all the Spider-Mans have like a better storyline to like falling in love. It's like, oh yeah, we dated, we hung out and stuff. Like this is I hung out with Thor for a couple of days, barely had enough time to have real conversation with the guy. And somehow by the end of the movie, it's like smooching. Okay.
Wait, you and Thor?
No, man. J-Law.
Put myself in like the place.
The universe. Yeah. No, but
I don't do that.
There's nothing wrong with that. We're not against it. It's just not our cup of tea.
I'm just saying that's on me.
But no. What I was getting at though was like it was lackluster. It seemed kind of like just let's throw it in there. You know, get a couple more ladies to come watch the movie.
It's like adding an ingredient that didn't need to be added. It's there. It didn't really do anything for it.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that.
Yeah,
because I felt like the humans could have just been like, I don't know, he could have just gone to Earth and like found out that like, but then I guess like he has no real reason to like care for what's going on Earth. Period. Really. Be honest, like, because if he didn't fall, I guess they needed to give him a reason to care about humans, which is falling in love. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, then like Thor doesn't come to Earth, then doesn't want to save it from that robot thing that was destroying Asgard, and then I guess the Earth gets destroyed.
Well, it wouldn't have even been there.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing would have came to Earth unless fucking.
He did get
Tesseract
banished.
And everything, right? If he didn't get banished and then the Tesseract didn't show up and everything, you know what I mean? They didn't go look like it's just so many different things. But I don't know. I'm so torn on it because it's like 15-20 minutes of the movie if you count it all. You know what I mean? And add it all up and stuff like that. Like have more unexplained anomalies occur. Anomalies occur. Before and have the build. But I mean, you have one or two like situations where you just see them really quickly in their field doing what they're doing. You see them at odds on their process and thought of what they were chasing and why they're chasing storms, and shit like that. And then all of a sudden, the government comes in when they have a realization something hit the ground and hit the earth, and they come and take all their shit. And then all of a sudden, they're interacting as they find him, and she hits him with his car twice.
When's the government going to stop messing with these superhero level like situations though? The government be coming out of nowhere and they're like, oh yeah, wow, oh they can like destroy whole buildings in a second, like
I want that.
Like there's actually what was it? Shield came in the movie and like that robot just went like, this is out of our pay grade.
Yep. Like, we're not fit for this. I'm surprised they didn't hit the beeper to call Captain Marvel at that point. You know what I mean? Because it's like, what the fuck?
I don't know if they knew Captain Marvel at that point. I think Captain Marvel. Or wait,
if you think about it, that happened in '95. This is 2000 something.
Yeah. I forgot her story kind of started like way back and then continued in the future.
Yep.
So I guess they could have, but I don't know.
They kind of rolled the dice waiting to see if this guy actually could grab the hammer or not. Like,
it's like, oh, this is just threatening Earth. What I'm fighting is threatening the universe.
Yeah, her job was more important. You gotta sacrifice one Earth for the rest of the universe. Like,
bitch, don't give me no beep and tell you in case of emergencies. When I tell you got an emergency, it's not an emergency.
Thor will handle it. Which he did.
Thor Hammer.
That was a big gamble. They didn't even know who this guy was.
Hey man.
He couldn't pick up the hammer either.
Hey man. You know what I wish they would have done in this movie though? Because we watched the On the Way to Thor's Hammer or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Or to Thor's Hammer.
The funny thing happened.
I wish he would have came out of the car eating the donuts.
Oh, that would have been a good little tie.
Or just like when they were talking, that would have been such a cool. I don't know if you call it an Easter egg or not. I guess you would, right? Because if everybody watched that little, what was like a 2-minute clip?
Yeah, the one shot.
The one shot thing
on the way to Thor's hammer.
That's what it was. Something funny happened on the way to Thor's hammer. That I feel like that right there would have made me like the movie a little bit more. Maybe even a point more, honestly, just because of that.
For that one little spot, damn.
Just
that one whole point, damn.
Maybe I'm saying maybe. Maybe stretching it.
Sturdy was feeling happy that day. He's like, yo, if I feel like they just tickled my fancy just enough that day, then
I mean, what it is though, it's just sometimes like with movies in general, it's cool when they throw like that little piece in there, or like when there's something that happens in the movies, right? And it's something small, like shit. I have this random card right here. Say they just show this random card. And then later in the movie, you see that card and say it's actually Nick Fury's ID. You don't see him through the whole movie, but you just see it's his ID. And you're like, oh shit. Those little donuts would have just been a little funny thing. Like, oh, that's cool that they did that. I'm glad they did that.
They didn't really do too many Easter eggs. I mean, obviously, you found out that the Tesseract was one of the Power Stones.
Yeah.
So I guess that could be the biggest Easter egg that's kind of going on in that movie. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
At that point, like you don't know it as a Power Stone, so
yeah,
you know. But then you find out later on, you know, that it goes by more than one name, you know. And when Thanos gets it, he just goes like, "Yo, this little box."
I want to know what you got. Yeah, like
this is what the rock inside.
Know what you have. Like
you don't even know, man. The Tesseract? No, man. This is just one of the several stones I'm gonna put in the gauntlet and wreck y'all. Boom.
Wreck y'all.
Yep. I'm trying to think what else.
I can only imagine what would happen in the multiverse, like with like the Power Stone still technically existing. Oh man, it can get out of control.
In every So if you haven't seen the What If, wait till you see the What If, and then. Oh, man, let me tell you.
I haven't seen What If, no.
Oh, you got it, because it's also going to lead into some of the multiverse shit with
where is it streaming? Is it like on
Disney Plus?
Disney Plus, okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
But oh shit, man, that's going to be a great little tie-in, because now they open up another question to some other weird shit with the sea or whatnot, and then Ultron, and like there's this whole other shit that she's gonna go crazy in the next like 3 years. I'm telling you, gonna go bananas. Bananas. I kind of wish Anthony Hopkins didn't get killed or put into a comatose state for 2/3 of the movie. Kind of wish there would have been more battle with the Frost Giants and him with his armies kind of holding him back while Loki's doing his mischievous fucking double agent shit.
Frost Giants also kind of felt like not the coolest of villains.
They were a bit docile, but they were also trying to stick to their agreement, stick to the truce. That's why he was like, listen, little boy, get the fuck out of here before you ruined the shit. I'm going to give you one chance, or one chance only.
Then he said that smart-ass comment.
Go on, princess. Which... You have to think about it like this though. Just imagine knowing you could fuck like the whole room up, and your boy or whoever, your brother, whoever is like, yo, just talks you down. Like, look, let's just go. And then you turn around and walk away. They're just like, yo, princess. And you're like, you know what? I'm fucking everybody up. Like I was about to leave. You already know. I like
these guys must think they know who I am.
Yeah,
I'm about to show them.
Am I the only one that realizes they was about to all get fucking murked? Thor and his whole crew?
They were.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, were we watching the same fight? Because they was about to die. But if Odin didn't show up, they were all fucked.
The way that he is, and the way that he thinks with that, listen, I'm just going to go fight, I'm going to fuck them all up, and that's going to be it.
Like, you're on their planet, bro.
Yeah.
You came to their door.
You might have defeat one drove of them, but you ain't going to defeat the whole army of them.
No. I mean, if you want to go in ghetto terms, that's like being in a hood you're not supposed to be in, talking shit.
Wearing the wrong colors, saying the wrong shit.
They dropped you off in the wrong hood.
Yeah.
This is like your opposite territory, and you're about to get jumped by all the dudes out
And
there.
let's not even say there's guns and knives, because you could just have a bunch of people stomp you out to death. Like, it's just, that's basically what Thor was getting himself and his peoples into at that point.
It's crazy how he
And they were like,
go right up in their hood, and we stomped them out, right? Sorry.
Like, no telegram, no peace treaty, no invitation, no, we just roll up, tell them what's what, and if they don't like it, and then wait, I guess we gotta go. And then you start to go, and then you start some shit. They're like, oh wait, I guess we gotta go, and they're trying to go, and then it's like, dude, just eat the shit, keep walking for right now, come back with all of Asgard, fucking, like, go get the CNI dude with his big ass sword, go get your daddy, like, you gonna need everybody, grandma, mama, like, the babies have been training for years, let them grab a sword and a shield, let's go.
Go fight. Go fight.
That's how war starts, babe. That's how war starts, because you get called the princess.
Could have, yeah. Basically.
Sorry, Kim Jong.
Somebody
Sorry.
hurt your one feeling.
Sorry, Kim Jong. Please don't do this.
Oh god. Did we just throw a Kim Jong-un joke in here? Oh man, I didn't know I was signing up for this with this show. No. Yo, bro, I don't want no qualms.
No smoke. No smoke.
That was dumb dudes.
Well, I didn't say anything about it. Why are you gonna just throw me
go after Raphael.
Dudes.
Them dudes? Nah,
I'm
leave
just
me
sitting
out
here
of
with my hammer.
Because
You better defend yourself then.
just saying,
Literally grab the hammer.
smack that nuke right up the damn skull.
Grab the chopper.
I ain't necessarily trying to be like Dennis Rodman and your best friend, but I ain't trying to be your enemy.
Nah, minding my own business. Minding my own business.
Yeah, we did that. We made it there. It happened.
It did
Oh shit. Alright, so after fucking Thor's vanished, the shit starts to go down. Loki's gained control of Asgard. What you think about that and his whole foils next and then what happens on Earth and everything?
Go ahead, Brandon. You look like you have a lot to say about this
I was
one.
actually thinking, I was like,
Oh, I thought you had some
that part.
throwing you on the bus.
I don't
Throwing
know,
you under the bus.
I thought Loki was like the wackest leader ever.
Really?
It was like, I don't know. There's something about a dude that just can't accept that he ain't gonna never be king unless he takes it by like deceit.
But that's his whole. That's what makes him.
I get it. That's what he's doing. Like he's like a trickster and all that. Just saying.
And he's fucking half the frost. He's the frost shit too.
Yeah. Nah, he's smart. He's intelligent. He planned this junk like it was like a chess piece, except he didn't know Thor was like, actually going to become worthy.
Yeah.
I think that's where he didn't count it.
He didn't plan that.
He didn't plan on that. He thought like he thought he knew his brother. Brother. I don't know. I forgot the actual relationship if they're not really brothers or something.
Stepbrother.
He's adopted.
Stepbrother.
It's
Adopted.
Step, whatever.
But like I don't think he actually thought that.
It's prisoner brother.
He thought that Thor's like basically child mentality would kind of overtake him.
Yeah.
It's kind of, that's kind of a sleeping moment, isn't it? Because he, like, the dude was worthy once. The dude can be worthy again. You stupid if you're sleeping on him and you think, oh, you're underestimating him. Because he's obviously not somebody to underestimate. I mean, he's been up against how many fucking horrible odds in battle with the few that they've won. So
True.
why would you sleep on him? You know what I mean?
But I guess I think it's like also like kind of like how in real society a lot of people like they know what you're capable of, and then you have that moment where you slip, and you kind of like get cocky, arrogant, and you get absorbed, kind of like Thor shows. And I guess that's like the human aspect to him, is that where he has to kind of almost learn humility again and take up honor. And
I would even say learn humility even more so because you have no powers now. It's like, oh fuck, I need to become a good I guess you would say a good god, because he's still technically a god, but a good person at the end of the day. Whatever. A good being. How's that? A good being. I need to become a good being. And not necessarily like good as in evil or whatever. It's like more of like a level-headed person. A level-headed being, I'll say. To where it's like, I can't just jump the gun and go fight. I need to really think things through. And all, because he had a good heart. Always had a good heart. It's just wanted to be. And he was real cocky and like real brash and loud about it. He was still loud in later movies, which we know, but not like he wasn't as cocky. He was cocky.
Yeah, he got more almost like
he got humble.
As you know, like he came like what I think as he went through like the various movies, Thor could have actually been more of a leader type character.
Oh, he was.
You know, Thor at the beginning. No.
Yeah.
Not put that guy in charge of nobody. But him towards the end, I mean, that would be a cool what if scenario though. That what if Thor became, you know, either the number 1 or 2, you know, Avenger, that kind of like everybody got behind instead of like Tony Stark or something like that. Because, like, to be honest, a lot of the same negative things about Thor are the same negative things about Tony Stark.
Yep.
So, to be honest, he could have potentially ended up being, you know, the leader in that sense.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like,
he was.
It's like Captain America never showed a lot of those negative traits, yet he never really got that opportunity, you know? But I wonder why.
America just didn't have that in his character because he was the underdog from the get-go, you know what I mean?
Okay, so going back to Captain America though, the reason why he didn't is because you got to remember he started out as a scrawny dude that just wanted to fight for his country, wanted to help. So he always had the heart. He had basically, if we use this because that's the movies are reviewed, if we use Captain America, let's just say Iron Man 1 and this Thor movie, the way how Iron Man and Thor had to grow, Tony Stark and Thor had to grow. Captain America was already there. Steve Rogers was already there. Right. He didn't have the money that Tony had to build the suit and all that, and he didn't have the powers that Thor had, or muscle or anything. He was like a scrawny dude. You know what I mean?
I was like thinking like Thor could have done it because right, like isn't Asgard technically rich? They don't need money. They got they got the gauntlet. They got they got all kind of crazy
But again, you gotta remember he got banished with nothing. You know, it's like, yo, get out of here. You're acting way too fuck out of here. It's like a rich kid. You know what? Get out of here. I'm taking you out. Go live in the broke neighborhood. Get a job.
It'd be like coming to America.
I'm not sending you any money or nothing. But they went by choice, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of Odin's whole intent, right? In banishing him and sending him down. Like, it wasn't just to punish him; it was to teach him a lesson and to humble him, and then also to give him.
He's trying to prepare him to actually become the king.
Right, because you need to understand it's not just the level that's up here. There's the level that's down here, and we rule over all of this. So you're gonna go spend some time with that and see what the fuck that's like, because you ain't gonna have me to just keep force feeding you, and you're not gonna keep riding my coattails because of my name and who I am. Go figure this shit out for a minute.
Yeah. So I mean, that's how him and Tony can connect in a way, because it's like you're filthy rich, you can get whatever you want on this. Let's just say on this planet or whatever, wherever you're at. And again, Steve Rogers, Steve Rogers / Captain America didn't have any of that until he became Captain America. Then he can already fight because he was in the army. He already had the heart. He had all that, and then once he gets the serum or whatever, become the super soldier. That's it. And he still has those same qualities. That's why he was chosen. You know, they picked him to have it because he had all the qualities you'd want in like the perfect hero or perfect soldier, basically. Like, he cared about everybody. He wanted to help everybody. Fucking, he went to go, you know, save that army by himself. Save part of the army by himself. And I'm not saying that Thor wouldn't do that, because he would, but he would do it in a loud way where he would get caught. Whereas Captain America was kind of,
he'd do it for some other reason, like a random chick that he never met before, and only for 3 days.
Hey, look. He was trying to get it. Actually, okay, but see, with that though, he was trying to get his hammer back before he could hammer her, to show him that he was a guy.
Okay.
No, but seriously, like, because he gets down, you know, when he gets down there, he has to basically get his shit back. He gets that back, and then for whatever reason they fall in love, and whatever, you know.
Yeah.
There's love stories and everything.
So, like, you know what's something interesting? I don't feel like they really reference that love story is the story progresses throughout the rest of the movies in the MCU. Like, they don't really reference that connection so much. Did they like have a falling out at one of them and I just didn't pay attention?
Well, it's coming up in the next one. What, Dark World or whatnot, where the ether goes into her and then she goes to Asgard.
Yeah.
I forget. What did he do? Did he keep her there after that, or did he send her back and then was like, "Hey, I'll come back for you"?
I don't.
I think something happened.
Sturdy, is this your first time watching this?
No, I did watch this one before with the wife a while ago, and then I watched like bits and pieces after that. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I know it's definitely not yours, right?
Brandon?
What?
Definitely not your first time watching, right?
Oh no, Thor? No.
Yeah.
I've probably seen it at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Saw it in the theaters, and then I'm pretty sure I saw it on TV once, and then most recently.
All these heroes have that moment of clarity. That's when they're right on the brink of death, right? Like Steve Rogers, the transformation, fucking Captain Marvel, when she literally almost dies under the hands of the Creed or whatever, and then fucking you get Iron Man, who gets blown up in an IUD in the middle of fucking Afghanistan, and then has to have a fucking battery hooked up to his chest to keep him alive. And then same here, you know what I mean? He's stripped down, bare bones. You know, he has to learn some shit. He starts to feel some emotion and feeling, and not just the self-pity, I guess, from him being weak. He was just still trying to get to his hammer and just try to prove himself, and then he sacrificed himself initially, during the battle, and as he died and she brought him back or whatever, he was like now worthy. But there's always that one moment that always relates back to these stories. It seems that it plays on the character of the person and that whole internal, it's what's inside, it's who you are, what you're structured like, and that's how your life is going to lead you down the path, with or without your team or with or without your powers. It's you that makes the situation so special and makes you so special. Just stay true to yourself, don't deviate. These are awesome stories to tell, and that's why these comics were made, right? For kids to be entertained and people to learn these lessons and remember these types of things, especially from fucking Stan Lee. I mean, there's so many undertones with differences in people and equality and mutations, but I mean, we all know in this day and age it's a basis on race and color and religion and all of that stuff, you know what I mean?
I got a serious thing to say about this now.
What's up?
I feel like these should be read in schools. Why? Because of what you just said. Because I feel like they teach you about equality and all that good stuff, and it's like they teach you it in a more entertaining way than getting out of a history book. And we already know the stories, we know the history. It's like, why not do it with this? Because you're gonna hear me out. Educational people, education's out there. You're gonna draw more people in if you're teaching them a lesson, but putting it in terms of where they're actually gonna pay attention to it and grasp it and understand it. Some people, it's just a comic book, but again, you're learning about equality. You're learning about inner strength, controlling yourself, and just becoming a better you. You learn that from these type of films. You learn that from these comics. I'm not even trying to be funny about it. Seriously, these type of things, because the education system is fucked. It sucks. It's horrible. I'm not saying that this has to be throughout the whole thing, but it should be a part of it. Of course, with the whole math and all that other shit that you really need, but just this is something where it's like, because you think about it, you send your kids to school.
Got somebody knock. Let's go, baby.
All throughout, from September, where we're at, from September to June. All that time, all those hours there.
Fucking decoy.
There should be some time spent on something like this. There should be an unorthodox way of education, to where these children are going to grasp it and use it in school, but in life.
Who is fucking shouting?
I think it's very important, along with other
Once upon a time, we used to teach lessons through stories, right? That's what storytellers were. You would give a story, a progression, and then the person would have to reflect and think about it, and then kind of relate to it and how it applies to them or a situation. That's how people used to develop and change and grow within the village, right? Because it takes a village.
Yeah.
But now we've completely steered away from that, and we just force feed whatever information it is, and then we want people to literally just figure out how to use it themselves.
Yeah, and like, I'll even say, as far as like reading out loud, I love to read, but I never liked to read out loud as a student. Don't know if you guys were the same way, but just imagine if instead of reading those boring ass books they had you reading, you're reading something like this. Okay, class. Oh shit, I want to read. I'll read. Aaron, put your hand down. You already read the last 4 freaking pages. Let somebody else read. But it would encourage kids to want to read more, and you can even start it off with, the kiddie books to start, with the younger grades when you're teaching the kids the letters and alphabet and all that stuff, and teach them how to read simple. Start off with the simple stuff with them, and then kind of just branch it off, and then to have some more fun with it. When people got to write a report or whatever on it, why not have to write a report on Thor or Iron Man or anything of these comics, because the comic books are always around. So why not have to write something on them, on how you felt about it or how you would change up the story. What's that going to do? It's going to open up minds. It's going to create more things for these children to write about. It's going to make them better writers because they're writing about something that they're actually entertained and interested in, instead of just fucking whatever, all the other shit.
Well, yeah, that's part of the problem with the school systems and things that are institutionalized not changing as time progresses, because we're at a point in time where we understand and know for sure that, forcing kids to do things they suck at, they may eventually get better at it, but to what extent or how good are they going to get? If there's already kids that enjoy doing that, are good at that, they can become masters at that, while this kid's going to become a master at doing whatever the hell it is, that whether he's better at sports and basketball than math. So keep a ball in that kid's hand. If the kid's good with puzzles and shit, put some tools in his hands. Help him build something. Help him figure out how to make infrastructure. You know what I mean?
And then going back to the whole basketball math thing, you could connect those. You can connect sports with math. Or combine it to where it's like, okay, listen, you want to play basketball? Boom, 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 boom. These are the numbers you want to get. These are the numbers you want to average. I don't know much about basketball, but these are the numbers you want to average. Mm-hmm. Here's how we can boom, boom, boom. Here's what you need to do. If you miss this many shots, this is what your average is going to be. If you make, say, 3 out of 10 shots, this is what your average. Oh, now I get it, because you're teaching me in terms that I enjoy and understand and I'm entertained by.
Or you take physics and how you have to shoot the ball with certain trajectory and certain momentum or an arc or whatnot, and like what type of force it needs, what type of force is going to come off the backboard so you can catch it, or force you need to jump off the ground. Like, there's tons of ways to spin things that are intriguing to people and apply it to the things that they're already honing their skills on and they're really good at, instead of forcing them to branch out and spread themselves so thin that they take no interest in 90% of what the shit was, and all they want to do is that other thing, and they're miserable because they can't.
Yeah, and going back really quick with the sports thing, basketball again. Hey, how far back do I need to be for the free throw line? Not just looking at the line, but how many feet you need to be away to be at the free throw line or the 3-point line, all that stuff. Like, all that.
Learn you angles and triangles and your trigonometry, all of that shit.
And you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it in an atmosphere where it's, say we're in class together. You don't have to do it with us in math class, sitting in the actual math class. No, go to the gym, have some pen and paper, take some shot. Hey, listen, here's what we're going to do. So, this group, there's 4 groups. This group's going to this hoop, this group's going to this hoop, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody take 4 shots at a time, 1, 2, 3, 4. You write down somebody behind you, write down how many they made, blah, 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 doom. That's your math problem. See the averages. Like, do whatever. Boom, there's your averages. This is this. Because it's like, oh, now I get it. It doesn't have to be just with basketball, but just to get it to where it's like, okay, so this class here does basketball for math, or whatever. This class here does this for math. But it's kind of gaining their interest. So it's like, okay, you learn better when you're interested in shit, is what I'm getting at. You learn a lot better because you pay attention to it. You want to understand it more. And you're just like, oh, this is kind of cool. I get it now.
I don't understand what the fuck happened to math and how it changed and what this Common Core shit is. And what the, like, I watch some of these videos and I'm like, are you guys fucking dumb? It's so much quicker to do it this way. Like, I'm like, why is this a 5-minute video to learn how to divide fucking 3 into 100? Like, or 3 into 300? Like, I don't understand. Like, I used to have to be able to spit these motherfuckers out. Like,
but what I'm getting at, though, with this whole, just so we don't get too far up with Thor, is with these.
We far off Thor right now.
Listen, how many volts run through this motherfucker's electricity, okay? We're gonna take it back to chemistry.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something though, Brandon. I'm gonna tell you something. If you start pay attention to these podcasts on the Z Network, because we throw things in like this all the time. Like seriously, on it, and it's organic. It's just like boom, like this conversation comes up, then we tie it into the movie. Tying into the movie is this is why you guys should have other ways of teaching, educating the children with Thor. With I'm sure there's some mathematical things you could use with this, or scientific things you could use with this. Also, essays, English class, whatever. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit you can use with this. Psychology, the mind, controlling yourself, self-control. You know what I mean? With the popular kids, because Thor, the pretty boy popular, has his powers when he's up there. He's still the pretty boy. When he comes down, he doesn't have his powers. So he's not big hoorah anymore. He's just like, I'm just Thor. I'm just Thor.
He's just everybody else.
Yeah.
He's just a normal dude.
So it's like
Which
big.
he's Pantene Pro V on his hair. That's it.
That's
it.
Yo, he went from being the star quarterback to like the water boy. Think about it like that. If you want to go in high school terms, so it's like, look, just because you're the best in the fucking, that don't mean shit. You could be thrown out. You could be thrown down to the water boy at any point in time.
Yep. You can get traded or fucking fired at any moment from the team you're on.
Yeah. So people find ways to educate the youth a lot better to where they'll actually learn and absorb the stuff, the important shit, and of course teach them all the other shit that dumb, about money and all that boring stuff that you got to teach them anyway. But maybe find funner ways to teach them it. Oh shit, you want to buy this video game? Well, this is how much it's going to cost you to buy this game, and blah 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 blah. You want to buy this Thor movie? You want to go to the movies? Boom boom boom. This is how much it costs. There's ways.
We'll get back to some of this shit on another conversation, but I just gotta say this real quick because I'm sure Brandon will agree. Taxes and fucking checkbook keeping has to be a thing. Has to be a thing in fucking school these days.
I agree.
But I don't know if they'll ever do that.
I don't understand.
This is how the elite stays ahead, bro.
Exactly.
You don't know how to balance a checkbook. Well, you don't got the foundation.
You can't use magic? Haha! It's Guardians are better than you humans. There you go. The haves versus the have-nots.
Basic budgeting. Like, that would be the key, man.
Like, if you want a steady stream of ho-hos and yodels, you need to know how much you need to make and not spend to keep that shit there while you still got more for some later. I take it in fat kid terms.
That's how Asgard got so rich,
Exactly.
There you go. And that's how you can throw it in there with a math class. Shit.
Well, then there's the other question, right? About conquering and just taking what you want and just moving on. Anyway, we're not going to go down that route because we're keeping it positive. We don't pillage and plunder here. Asgard has never done that and never stolen any kids from any other worlds named Loki. Never.
That's where you can do the whole history thing instead of making it the boring history because nobody gives a shit about it.
It's her story, okay?
It's her story.
Her story. Okay.
Oh shit.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? Her story.
This guy.
Without her story, there is no his story. Okay.
I guess he's sticking up for the ladies this time.
Yeah. I love y'all.
Yeah.
Somebody just needs to get on his lady's good side, I guess.
No, she ain't even here.
I'm gonna watch later, though, right?
I don't know. I'm making for everybody else in the world that wants to see it and hear it. Alright, so back to Thor. We're coming up on the end of the movie here. Odin wakes the fuck up. Shit goes awry. Thor comes back and has to try to deal with fucking Loki. They get into it. The fucking space bridge, the star bridge, whatever you want to call it, is fucking broken and demolished.
Yep.
To prevent. Odin catches them! Cliffhanger by the ankle! What's up?
Right there. No, the gift.
The explosion.
That's him smashing the bridge.
He's like, I gotta do what's right for everything. Right. It was a righteous choice to be made. The hard decisions. That was the moment he was ready to be king. Odin comes, catches him by the ankle. Anybody else feel like that was kind of whack? At the end there with Loki, I was gonna do it, and for you, father, and then just looks at him and just lets go. I was like, this is stupid. Why didn't
it could have been that
you know what was actually weird? Like the way he fell into the hole, it just looked odd. Like the graphics were bad. Like,
That's probably the one time in all of the MCU that I will complain about visuals. Honestly.
I agree.
Like, yeah, it looked bad. It looked cheesy.
Oh, it looked
He
real
went to the whole-
cheesy.
It was like, cause like his body like did this weird rotation, like
And then
it
just shrunk.
That was, you know what that was? That was like, yo, all right, so we have about $14 in the budget. Who can make this scene look okay at least?
Who can make him fall into the hole and like just like reduce his size as he's doing it? Like, we don't care if you use really, really bad like Photoshop.
Just use what we can use. This is
Heck,
what we got.
you can even do clip like little step-by-step clips.
Yep.
Fucking stop motion.
We just need to get this done like in the next like 2 days.
Yep. And someone just, and it's always the guy that answers first, like, I got this. And you're like, oh,
Got it.
he always says this shit.
Like, all right, I did something like this back in 4th grade, okay?
It's your time to shine, man. It's your time to shine. Okay, I got this.
Like, yeah,
I got
we have the janitor do it, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Didn't know he had them skills in him.
Yeah, that I would say if I were to complain, that would probably be one of my biggest complaints of the movie. Is that little scene right there? Like, they could have made it more. I don't even want to say they made it like because it was a different type of thing, but almost like Scar throwing Mufasa off the thing. But instead,
that was epic.
He's gonna let go.
This was not epic. This
epic.
was like whack. This was like wow. Like something looked off about the way you were falling there. Like,
I'd rather them imprison him and he escapes somehow. I'd rather than just put him in some sort of a prison. They, on Asgard, he just escaped somehow than what they did there.
They were rushing through the cutting floor there and was like, all right, we just got to get it printed. We got to get it going.
If he falls through that hole, he could technically fall anywhere to the universe, so we could just pop him into another movie at some point.
Yeah.
I guess.
Because it'll be kind of like where, because they used to like choose where you were going to get transported to, but if he falls through the hole and there's no like dude there to like, Idris Elba's character, then he could be anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere. So then he can just appear in another movie randomly, like when you least expect as an Easter egg for something else.
Yeah.
Man, you know what been fucked up but funny? It kind of funny is like the next movie he's in, you still see him fall like that same exact visual of him just falling.
They could have done that like in Guardians of the Galaxy or some junk. Like, now I gotta go look in all those movies in the background, like just see like a random dude flying. It's like you never saw that before. Ha.
Yep.
That if I'll tell you what, if they did that and still made it look as cheesy, because you can't fix those visuals. Like,
well, I don't know if he would be like falling through a hole anymore. He'd be like
no, but you just see him kind of in the back. You see him in the background, kind of just
floating through
around.
space.
But it still looks cheesy, is what I'm saying. And you just see him kind of falling through the background. We're like, what the fuck was that? And any other time you don't pay attention to it, and now that we're discussing it, you're like, oh yeah. So people go back and go through those movies and see if he's still falling.
That's like when we get to Guardians of the Galaxy coming up soon. I'm gonna be paying attention in the collector's vault to see if fucking the cat makes an appearance from Captain Marvel. Because I know
on the Guardians of the Galaxy. I like those movies.
All right. Fucking Odin saves Thor. Loki falls endlessly. Thor goes back to Earth to reconcile with his girlfriend, let her know it's all good. Sorry, I can't come back. It's like, okay, if the bridge was broken, how the fuck did you get there in the first place?
I don't know, man. However, Loki got wherever he got.
That's what I'm saying.
He jumped through the hole and he took a shot. And he said, yeah, I won.
He just, from planet to planet, galaxy to galaxy. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, either way. But, I know there's a couple of things that they allude to later on and shit. But then he comes back home to go deal with, rebuilding Asgard and running the kingdom with his dad and shit. Movie ends, and we get credits. And then our end credit scene. Did you guys stay for it?
I did.
I did the first time.
So, essentially,
you need to remind me on that.
No, you're cool.
I fast forward through it, and then just like, so with Disney Plus, you can fast forward, and then there's a certain point where you can just hit skip credits, and it'll just go to that end credit scene.
Yep.
It's different when you've seen the movie before and you already know whatever would have been like leading to the next thing that happened. So like I forgot about that there was end credits with that one.
All good. So basically, what happens is the other doctor that was with Jennifer Lawrence there, the other scientist, He's walking through a dark corridor, comes out into a thing. It's Shield and Nick Fury. They show him the Tesseract and tell him, "Hey, this could be energy. This could be, unlimited
Very
energy. Very powerful. You want to work with it." Essentially, really gives him no choice, and he's like, cuts to a reflection, a mirror, and it's Loki going, "Oh, this will be interesting." So then he repeats what Loki says, and at that point you realize Loki is now controlling the Doctor after he fell through the hole in space and ended up back on Earth somehow.
Hey man, it happens.
And then this tells you Thor will return in the Avengers. And that's it. And that's the end there. So I mean, how the fuck does he get around if he's went through a black hole?
Magic.
God powers.
Why wouldn't he have just done one of these fucking Naruto hand signs and bleeped himself somewhere instead of falling through the fucking abyss? He could have just been like, and came up behind Odin.
He wasn't just trying to trick Thor. He was trying to trick the audience.
This is true. This is well played, sir. Well played.
And Odin and the budget. They were just like, all right, listen. We just got to get him out of here. Now, what we really want to do is like have him fall, and you'll see him like land on Earth or land somewhere far. But because we only have $14 left, Josh, now's your time to shine.
So he's like, "Yo, if you take the budget now, you can give me a show later, right?"
Or that was him almost on the chopping block, and they was gonna kill his ass off because he was being difficult on set, and then he worked it out. He humbled himself on his trip to fucking Earth.
They even made him go out there like, you know what?
I mean, that's why I heard they got rid of what's his name, Edward Norton.
Ed Norton
for Hulk. He was trying to kind of control his films too much, like, act like he was the director even though he wasn't the director.
Yeah.
So I mean, they kind of ran through people with that part. What, 3 different Hulks?
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should have just called me. I would have played Hulk. I'll listen.
So we're coming up on
they should have done a Thor and Hulk movie like they did the cartoon.
Ragnarok was kind of that.
Oh wait, yeah, they kind of did. Yeah, my bad. They kind of did like the Planet Hulk kind of stuff. I think.
I love when they fight each other.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, those are like 2 like powerhouses going at it.
Yeah.
Yep. Trying to think. Fucking, yeah, it's exciting to see as these things progress. And again, we're 5 movies in now on,
yes, sir,
almost 30 that we're gonna need to do. Yeah, it's dude, like it's like 60 hours or something like that of straight through content, and that's not counting the episodic stuff like WandaVision and what you call that. It's like just the movies alone. It's like 60 straight hours, and yeah.
You know what you need to do? You need to take a before and after picture.
Dude, I did it 2 months ago, 2.5, 3 months ago. Fucking just in 3 days. Just bang, 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 bang. Just
like your eyes
day and night, bro. Day and night. Fall asleep, wake up, go back to where I was. Like, you get through it. I mean, the best part about it is it's not something you have to force yourself to do, you know what I mean? Even if you do decide to take the venture, because I'll tell you what, I had to force myself through fucking Lord of the Rings, and that was just 3 movies, so I can't complain too much, man. I really can't. I really enjoy these.
I get it. No, these are good. That, like I say it on damn near every episode as well, is the way this universe is so well put together. I don't see it ever happening again. Where so many movies are connected. Now, I don't mean like a franchise thing. I mean like where there's
this is like decades worth of setup.
Yeah, it's do I want to see it again? Of course, we all do. In different it doesn't have to be just these type of movies. I'd love to see a huge horror universe that just connects and works so well. Bigger than the Conjuring universe.
So many questions, so many things. Like I wish they could get Dragon Ball right for live action. I really do. Really wish.
A white dude to do an Asian guy.
Yeah.
Always, I don't know what the last one they had like a whole bunch of Asian actors, even though the movie was horribly acted. But then randomly they're like, Goku's got to be white.
Yeah, it was. Totally. Yeah, that was just weird. That was just Dragon Ball Evolution. That was just fucking weird. I've seen better fan films, honestly, on fucking
actually.
Machima and shit like that back there a few years, many years ago, I guess I should say. But I wish. So we're at ratings time, guys. It's results time on the Midnight Matinee. Sturdy, I'm gonna start off with you, brother. What are you giving this Thor movie?
I'm gonna give this one a 7.
Okay.
So far, it is my lowest rating. It's not as good as the last 4 movies we watched. Those were all 8s for me, but this one's a 7. If they would have put the donuts in it, it may have gotten a 7.5 or an 8, though. I'm gonna be
from the beginning of this episode. I thought you were gonna give that a higher rating. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Now I don't feel like the way I said it is gonna sound as bad because I felt like I was gonna give it a 7.5.
There you go.
Wow, dang.
What do you think I was gonna give it though?
No, like from the way you said it.
Oh, okay.
I thought you would have given it a higher grade than I would have. That's why.
Got it.
No, at least match 7.5, but you said 7, bro.
I
guess
thought about it.
Like very, very prestigious 7. So like a 7 for you is like everybody else's 8.
It varies for me.
You're kind of like Simon Cowell. You're like, I hate on the stuff. So like, if you get a 7 from me, you're golden.
A 7, no. Listen. My rating scale is different. My rating, like you could ask Chris. I go from a
different.
No. I go from a -10 to a +10.
Oh,
so
dang.
7 is. Listen,
there's on things. When I hate on things, it goes -10.
No, listen.
You gotta give me my movie time back.
Hey, guys.
There's been a couple, bro.
You're my listen. There's a movie called Blood Lake. You could watch it for free on Tubi. You know about Tubi, right?
When I go back to edit this, I'm bleeping that out.
Blood Lake. Go watch Blood Lake on Tubi, and you will see why my ratings are negatives. Like that movie alone made me have a negative rating for just all throughout film.
Shucks.
It's the Voldemort of movies for me. It's the movie that should not be named.
Yep.
Dang.
He's right. But a 7 and a 7.5. And why'd you give it a 7.5 though, Brandon?
I don't know. I thought it was a good film, but not the best.
Mm-hmm.
And it was missing like several critical things that I think bumps it to like an 8 and a 9 and a 10. And that's like, obviously the love story was like, it was believable, but not really that believable. It's not going to be the love story that everybody goes, I wish I had a love story like that.
I get what you're saying. It's one of those scenes to where, or one of those moments in the movie, or whatever you want to call it, to where, like Chris said earlier, if they just added maybe 15 minutes of just a buildup of that, it was one of those things where, like, if they didn't put it in the movie, you wouldn't have missed it. But it is in the movie.
And I think that's the thing is like it was an element that didn't feel necessary because of how it developed.
Yes. It didn't benefit the movie.
Kind of like, okay, well, we need to give Thor a reason to be on Earth. So let's just.
It didn't benefit.
He falls in love with this girl. Okay, there's obviously like he has a reason to want to fight this hard now.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be one. I would say the little bit of like kind of like corny jokes that were thrown out, like like Thor's little like beautiful kind of jokes and whatever, like those little jokes that were thrown throughout and whatnot. Like he was just like, I remember like when he was walking in and he's just like ha 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 ha, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like extremely rich people that just don't know about like how normal society interacts with each other and just like everything's blissful. How you doing over there?
What the fuck is that, asshole? You're over here throwing your money around. Why don't you want to be something?
And then I don't know, just that. And I think the Frost Giants sucked. I did not like those enemies. Some random dudes with red eyes on a cold planet or something. I don't know. They could have had some cooler dudes.
Now, if they say they look, because I don't think they look stupid. They could have looked.
They didn't necessarily look like Frost Giants. That's what I was gonna say. Like
I was gonna say, they could.
Why are their eyes red? Why are their eyes red?
They could have looked better with that. Like because they had the dark tone. They should have had them like an ice blue kind of eye.
Mm. That would be an improvement.
Been smart.
Heck, if they even had like frostbites or something, I don't even know, like more frost.
Icicles coming off their shoulders
it's
or
something. Something that develops them more.
If they were see-through like ice. Like
I would say
Those
that,
look
and then
some
I would also
dudes
say,
that like got some really bad frostburn and like ain't got no sleep in like 10 years because their eyes is red as hell.
you know why their eyes are red. Same reason my eyes are gonna be red when this episode's over.
That planet was desolate, man. There was nothing growing green on that.
Yeah, there wasn't any green on that.
Listen,
Maybe
it's a resilient plant and it can take some temperatures, but once you get under like 44, 35, that the shit is finito.
Yeah, but who's to say what they got on there? They gotta have something else.
Maybe they smoking that rock, bro.
They on that crystal, that ice crystal.
Just like, yo, that's why his eyes is like straight red. They ain't just bloodshot red. They like,
No, they're red.
Boy,
red.
before you fuck up my eye.
Holy shit! You said they're smoking that rock.
Shit.
But yo, Chris, what's your ratings
Awesome.
for this
All
before
right,
we go crazy?
I'm with Brandon on this one. I'm giving it a 7.5. And this is funny. This keeps happening to me on these podcasts. Is for the same reason somebody gives it a diminished score, it helps the score for me. So like the stupid little jokes and shit was the reason why it's got a 7.5. If not, it would have been a 7, just like the first Iron Man for me. I feel like these are probably the two weakest examples in the MCU. They were sped through certain spots, like we discussed on the other podcast with the development in Iron Man 2 of his the thing to actually fix his arc reactor.
Yeah.
Go watch that. It's up. It's all over. It's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitch for a little bit till I also get the audio platforms up on Spotify and iTunes. But anyway, for those reasons, that's where I'd landed at the 7.5. I enjoyed the movie. It's a decent movie. It progressed fairly decently. Had a few hiccups. It did have a little bit of a shortcoming in the acting side initially to start, but then by the end of it, it got ironed out. And with the future iterations of it, it's definitely resolved. And there's definitely more fun to be had, more action, and stories I think are stronger and a little bit better. So for that reason, 7.5. Not the greatest, not the worst, but when we're talking Marvel and we're talking this MCU universe, it's on the lower scale, but these are fantastic fucking movies.
Oh, fuck yeah. Like
fantastic movies.
A 7.5. Like the ratings we gave it is not bad at all. Like if this whole, let's just say the whole universe was a 7, that's still excellent in my opinion. Because that's
because you don't watch this movie unseeable.
Oh, way far from that. Because I've watched a lot of those films, and I'll still never tell you not to watch it.
We'd have to be like talking like 5s at that point, where you're like, you might want to choose something better to do with your time.
See, I'm not crazy. See, I got this thing where I told Sturdy, listen, if it's a 5 or if it's like under a 5, I don't even want to bother with it. And if I got through it, I'm gonna tell everybody else. Don't fucking deal.
He be going like to the dump ins at like.
Yo, he will watch something down to -9 and be like, just go watch it.
Ain't nobody ever even like the people that even made the movie were probably like freaking like, oh, this sucks even making.
How did he find
Hey, you know he can hear us, right?
Yeah,
I know. But what I will say though, Brandon, is because
I'm trying to make a change.
As you both know, no
man in the mirror.
I know he ain't changing for nobody, but
him to change his ways.
For me, as you guys both know, I'm a huge horror is my favorite genre. And horror, there's a lot of shit where you're just like, what the fuck? So it makes me, I enjoy those shitty. They're fun films, but for me, a bad horror, I can watch a bad horror film before I can watch like a bad Marvel film. Let's say like something that's just god right awful, because I'm not expecting a lot from that bad horror film. I'm expecting it to be a shitty, whatever nonsense. But Marvel, a bad Marvel, it's just gonna be like fuck.
All right, since we got through these ratings real quick, and you brought that up, bad Marvel movies, so we got a few more minutes here. Of the Hulk movies and of the X-Men movies and Origin movies and all of that stuff, because those would probably be the ones that are acclaimed as the worst of anything Marvel had touched, right? I'm sure Hulks are at the top of it, besides Wolverine Origins, where they fucked up Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds and his mouth was sewn shut and shit.
Oh yeah, he referenced that in another movie. That's how bad it was. They were like, "Yo, bro, remember when they fucked my whole shit up back then?"
Yup. So of those, what would you say is probably the score, the range for those that you would give in those if we had to review those separately, just as a whole, as like a general? What would you?
I wouldn't say like each one of those movies was bad. It's just they chose. Sorry, I had to.
No worries.
They just chose really bad moments to screw the whole damn thing up. Like, like that whole movie was good until all of a sudden you're like, wait, how the hell did you mess up Deadpool? Like, how do you mess that up? Like, he has like certain skills and certain abilities that you've always had throughout all the comic books, and all of a sudden you're like, give him Cyclops eyes, bro. Nah.
then the most vocal and vulgar character that Marvel has, you fucking melt his mouth shut.
Yeah, you made him not talk. You said.
And then you took it one step further. Instead of him having fucking swords he can wield, you made him into Baraka from fucking Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and they took it even a little bit further than that. They're like, instead of giving you the Deadpool costume, which you always have, your skin's gonna somehow like just flash like it is the costume and then like dissipate. I'm just like, what? I'm like, what? You took everything we knew about Deadpool and just ruined it in like a second. Like some dude's like, hey, I got a smart idea. Let's change Deadpool.
We're gonna blame 20th Century Fox on that one.
Let's change him. Let's just
that
change
was Fox. That was the studio.
Let's just change him, bro.
Yeah.
Let's catch these people off guard. They won't see this coming.
See, of all those movies, I would say the best for me is probably a 6-7, and the worst is probably a 3.
Damn, which one did you think was a 3?
That one right there, the fucking X-Men Origins Wolverine. That shit was straight
like
garbage. Sabretooth was stupid. Fucking Deadpool was fucked up. Wolverine,
you know what? Maybe I haven't seen these movies in so long that I forgot how bad they were.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot.
I'm trying to think like, man, I don't remember how bad the X-Men movies were, but they weren't anywhere near where these new Marvel movies are.
No. And what saves the X-Men movies is when the fucking the precursors come out with like First Class and all of that shit, and fucking what's his name? The dude that played in Wanted and fucking Split.
Oh yeah. I know which guy you're talking about.
Xavier.
Patrick Stewart?
No, when they're all young, yeah.
Young version, yeah.
I forgot his name, but I love him as an actor as well.
James McAvoy.
There you go, James McAvoy. But yeah, and that honestly saves it. And those are the ones that get towards the higher end of scale, because of those other ones, like the first 3 X-Men are like 5-ish. And then
so we also have to take like where the whole universe was back then, and then
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I enjoyed them back then.
Yeah, that's like trying to like grade Adam West Batman versus like today Batman, like just different grade of camera and skills and CG, and I mean, we could say that their acting ability or like the direction of the film was bad, but like you got to take into consideration the times too.
Yeah, but that's definitely, I mean, 2 out of the 3, because you got actors, you got directors and cinematography, and then you got like visual effects and shit. So like 2 out of the 3 were bad. I mean,
no, he smacked the whole entire like existence of the director away on that one. He said I have 3. He said, bro, he's like, give me back my time. First of all, pay me to watch this movie. Number 3, go back to college and choose another profession.
I said, go back to college.
Not even that. I'm not a fan of the cancel.
We don't need no more of you on this planet.
No, I'm not a fan of the cancel culture, man. But I would definitely say,
is that one for you? Okay.
I would definitely be like, yo, not for nothing, but that was shit, right? You could have done better. He's gonna be like, my hands were tied. It was the fucking studio and my writers. I had nothing to do with it.
You just robbed so many people, bro.
I'm time and money.
You lucky this shit wasn't out in an IMAX or RPX. I would have fucking stormed that place for my $21 back.
But for me, I honestly haven't seen those films in so freaking long. I don't remember. And like you guys are both saying, like at the times, it was the best shit out.
Because it felt like, because I was like, when I watched them, they didn't seem that bad. But I remember the experience I had from then,
right,
and then what I'm seeing with Spider-Man, I'm like, these new films might actually be like, like nominees for awards. Like, right. I don't think those old ones would.
No, they shouldn't have been. But then again, it's the time when it was there.
It's the time. It's the level of acting I think that they were expecting from the movies. Because like now, hero movies, I think ever since like Dark Knight, for instance, have had a higher expectation for the level of acting. Ever since like, they won an Academy Award with an actual hero movie. Because I think that I believe that might have been the first one.
I'm not sure.
I gotta double check.
I feel like a lot of them may have come close, but they didn't get the win. You know. I don't know. Man,
Wait, I thought Black Panther was the first one. I'm so confused.
No, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if even Black Panther won.
Maybe it was the first Marvel movie to be nominated.
I know it got like the most backing from all the black people. We were like Wakanda for life, bro. But
damn right,
exactly. Every time you mention Black Panther, we all just gotta do that. It don't matter if you're black or not. Just I was like, yo, when I said Wakanda for life, like yo, mad white dudes was just like, yo, Wakanda. It's just
but you gotta ask. Listen, you ain't gonna just go over Wakanda and just hang out. You better check in first. Hey, by check in, you better have legit permission because these yo,
who invited you to the barbecue?
Mm-hmm. Dang, yo,
Wakanda barbecue.
Yo, you better have your credentials right.
And look, because there's the technology in Wakanda. Are you racist? No, we're about to check. We're about to fact check this.
We're about to fact check this. They're like, back on this date, you said some insensitive material on social media.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, Wakanda technology, bro. We on that next level.
It's like, you know what? You can't come in, but we'll bring you a plate out.
Yeah, we'll bring you.
We just can't let you be seen with us. Like,
yeah, you cannot come to the barbecue, but we will bring the barbecue to you.
Yeah, matter of fact,
portion of it.
Your parents are cool, so they can come to the barbecue. They'll bring you leftovers. If they want to bring you leftovers, they'll bring you leftovers.
Yeah, you can get it like secondhand. You were not directly invited.
Oh man, I was about to go in on some dark. Yeah, let me not. It's like no, man, they're not allowed. She is though. She gets it. She knows what it is. Anyway.
Yeah, we got so off topic, but that's what
it's all good. It's all good.
Yes, this is podcasting.
So we got. So as far as the results, Brandon came in with a 7.5. The Worst Damn Gamer, that's me. I came in with a 7.5 as well. And Sir Sturdy banged out with the 7, which I think averages out to 7.25.
I never saw coming because I thought he was gonna think the movie was like 5.
You thought I was gonna give it a 5?
I don't even know. Like the way you were talking about it at the beginning, you made it sound like you really didn't like the movie that much.
Listen, man, but the count again.
We'll run it back when we watch this video. I'm like, yo, when you said it, like I thought it was gonna at least get like a 6.5.
Listen, this is why I'm the stepson of Asgard because I was progressing with the podcast as Thor progressed with, what was going on in the film.
It wasn't like when you heard us like saying better things about the film, you're like, man, maybe it wasn't that bad.
I had to pick some things apart about it. We all kind of because
I got you.
I'm sure you'll be.
I think that's why we have an initial thought, and then
that's
why we follow up by the end of the discussion.
That's what I love about the podcast stuff. Like over on our show, Popcorn and Pints, and over on my show, Horror with Sir Sturdy. What we'll do is we'll do an early rating. And then a late rating, and there's times where the ratings either go up or go down. There's times where they stay the same, but there is times where they go up or go down from the beginning of the episode to the end, just from the conversations, which I think is dope. And that's why I love doing this kind of stuff, because you have the conversations and stuff, and it makes you like, oh yeah, you know what? In that part of the movie, yeah, that was kind of cool. I didn't really pay too much attention to it, or when they showed that, like, again with the whole card thing with the Nick Fury, just using that as an example, it's like, oh shit, or. This shit you're right. This shit was not that great. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. This was a really good movie. And if you haven't watched this universe in chronological order, you definitely should. I haven't yet, but I'm doing it through the podcast. So why don't you just join us? If you haven't watched the first 5 movies yet, including this one, and the little in-betweens, watch them. You got time.
Hey, Chris, powerhouse it out.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. And it's crazy to think that even as I'm doing the podcast and I'm interacting with you guys and stuff and the guests, what happens is I still am having realizations and I'm still connecting certain dots and little things here and there, like I just did earlier with, how did he even get to Asgard, or, how did he get back to Earth? And then, the seer was like, hey, where did you come from? How did you even get here? And then it relates back to other shit that I saw later, and that now it's clicking. Like, we're talking, this is a 11-year-old movie. It came out in 2011. We're talking about other movies that came out in 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 all the way up to there that I'm still making fucking new connections for. And I've already seen almost all of these movies at least 5 or 6 times. Like, it's fucking insane and it's super dope. I mean, the attention to detail is just world class, and it's just something to definitely be applauded and definitely notable. Like, you can't talk about this franchise and these movies without touching base on it. And that's a huge thing that every podcast, every episode, it seems to be one of the biggest things that leads off a conversation or starts something because of something that's related to something else or something that progressed from something else. It's fucking dope.
I mean, these obviously the movies aren't realistic, but it touches real issues, which I think is awesome, and it does it in a more entertaining way than other films that are really touching on that issue. But it's like that film is about that issue as far as just acceptance. Like, you're not seeing a kid, huh?
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I think you should cut that. It's fucking dope, and then just put it at your intro. Just
dope.
heard that, and they like kept replaying in my head for a second there. It's fucking dope.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I might have to now.
You have to. It sounds like it makes sense to me.
While it's playing in the theme song.
At the Midnight Matinee. It's fucking dope.
That's it. Thanks, Brandon. You gave me more work.
Yes.
I
actually have another idea to touch on that, but I'll wait till the end of the episode.
Sorry, it came like right in my head right then.
For something
I appreciate it. You kidding me? Anything to make the shit better, man. Because I got to get my overlays together and a couple things. I got another segment I'm trying to launch called the Chop Up, where literally I'm going to invite people on if you want to join us sometimes. It's going to be like, hey, this day, this time, if you can, let's do this. What are we talking about? You'll find out when we're there. That's it. I'm just going to come up with a random topic or something in the news anything that made me have a reaction. And like he knows I can go on rants. So I mean, I can go on rants too. You heard me on the mobile branch and you heard me fucking at the shop and shit, but I can go in. You watched all of my lives.
Psych. An hour later.
Oh, you just called me out. Okay, that's awesome. No, it's true. Bro. It's true. It happens.
We all do it.
That's why we all leave.
No, that's it.
Like, I chilled with Chris a few times. I went to his crib. Yeah, all right, yo, get ready to bounce. Yo, let me show you something else. We just start talking like another hour.
I got to go, man, go. You said you were leaving a while ago. Go. But that's the cool chat. And I'm looking forward to that too. So look out for that. The Chop Up. I'm working on the visuals. Like I said, it's gonna be any type of topic or any headline or anything that literally just popped into my head that I started reacting to. I'm probably just going to write it down. I'm going to invite some people on. If I can get 1, 2, 3, 4 different people to get some different perspectives, I'm going to do that. If not, you might just catch me doing my shit and ranting on the topic. But you're not going to find out what the topic is until it airs and until it goes down. So I hope you come along for that journey too, because it should be fun. It should be fun.
Be interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Midnight Matinee for episode 5 with Thor, our buddies from BMS Designs, Brandon Moore, Sibbles, over on my left here. I can't get this depth for... Homie right here. Yeah. Blue shirt. We got Sir Sturdy of Horror with Sir Sturdy right here in the Michelangelo Raphael suit with the Thor eyes and the lightning behind him. You can catch him on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Horror with Sir Sturdy. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Wait, are you on Twitter over there? Yeah.
Yep. You're right. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter.
There you go.
TikTok.
We've been doing tons of shit. People. Yeah, congratulations. He recently just hit over 10,000 downloads on his podcast, so if you're down for audio, go find him wherever podcasts are broadcast. You can watch us do it live at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm usually a part of it, so if you like my tone and if you like hearing us talk shit about movies and there's some bad ones to talk some shit about, come join in, hop in the conversation, get down in the comments, share the shit. Don't forget that. Don't forget to let the people know that we're live and we're doing this and, spending time on it. And I'll catch you on the next episode next Saturday at midnight. And I hope you watch this after the fact. Hit the bell for the notifications. Worst Damn Gamer always reminding you that sometimes in order to be the best, you gotta be the worst. Peace.
Deuces.